Hello everyone, Supervisor Jim Desmond here with you today on Wednesday, December 2nd with a COVID and county update. I'm sure a lot of you are looking at the headlines, you're seeing the news about all the information about the case rates going up and what that means and what it could potentially mean and looking at shutdowns possibly. Well, some of this data is true and some is not. And people will say to you, well, I'm relying on the science. Well, science is based on data. And the data for San Diego County right now is this. We're doing a lot of testing, and 30 people out of 100,000 are testing positive right now in San Diego County. Now, when we were in the red tier, where businesses were partially open, we had to be testing less than 7 people per 100,000. So now we're in purple, and we're at 30 people per 100,000. What that is 0.03% of San Diegans testing positive. And of that 0.03%, 10% of that number have actually had to go to the hospital since March. And 1% of that 0.03% have passed or died. Now, we don't want anybody dying or getting sick. But what the numbers tell us, and the data is, you have a 99.97% chance of not testing positive in San Diego County. To me, the numbers are relatively low, for the panic and hysteria that's out there. So should we take precautions? Absolutely. We should continue to protect those that are the most vulnerable. We should continue to protect those that are dying or ill and have underlying conditions. We should continue in that effort because our case rate has gone up. Our hospitalizations have gone up. Right now, we've got about 792 people in the hospitals for COVID. We actually have 1,200 beds set aside for COVID patients. We're at about 700, so we don't want to keep that number to keep going up. We want to be able to turn that back down. But the percentages and the numbers and the data here in San Diego County does not justify, in my mind, closing down businesses and ruining people's livelihoods. So the question is being asked is, why are our numbers increasing? Why are our case rates increasing? Well, primarily, the increase is being compared to a flawed, color-tiered system that the state gave us to abide by this summer and fall. And those numbers were so ridiculously low, there was no way San Diego County was ever even going to get to the yellow in that tiered system. And what that tiered system did was punish businesses and business sectors and schools and our kids. And where are we today? Here we are. We're back again to where this whole thing started, of having potential lockdowns like we did in April. The only difference between now and April is that many businesses have been devastated. Schools are now shut down. And our case rate seems to be increasing, and is really not because of businesses, and it's not because of schools. It's primarily, unfortunately, because of apathy, because people understand the small chance they have of getting it, and even a smaller chance of being hospitalized or dying. So if we follow the data, which leads to the science, that leads us to, we still have an area of concern of hospitalizations and deaths in San Diego County. We want to decrease those to 0 if possible. So we still need to follow all the safety protocols. We still need to keep the social distancing, the masks, and to keep away from the large gatherings, which I think San Diegans are doing a great job of. Keep it up, keep safe, keep checking in, and look at the data.